The Aryacakravarti dynasty were kings of the Jaffna Kingdom in Sri Lanka. The earliest Sri Lankan sources between 1277 and 1283 mention a military leader of this name as a minister in the services of the Pandyan Empire. He raided the western Sri Lankan coast and took the politically significant relic of the Buddha's tooth from the Sinhalese capital city of Yapahuwa. Political and military leaders of the same family name left a number of inscriptions in the modern-day Tamil Nadu state, with dates ranging from 1272 to 1305 during the late Pandyan Empire. According to contemporary native literature, the family also claimed lineage from the Tamil Brahmins of the prominent Hindu pilgrimage temple of Rameswaram in the modern Ramanathapuram District of India. They ruled the Jaffna Kingdom from the 13th until the 17th century, when the last of the dynasty, Kankile II, was ousted by the Portuguese. Origin theories. The origins of the Aryacakravarti are claimed in contemporary court chronicles. Modern historians offer some competing theories. Pandyan feudatory family from the 13th century. Inscriptions commemorating dignitaries calling themselves Aryacakravartis in present-day Tamil Nadu. We can deduce that they hailed from the coastal region of present-day Ramanathapuram District, which they called Seviru-Nadu. They administered land and held important military ranks. It is believed that most of them belonged to one family of Tamil Brahmins in the modern Ramanathapuram district who had become prominent during the days of the Pandyan king Maravaman-Kulasekaran. Furthermore, the title Cakravarti seemed to have been commonly used in the Pandyan kingdom as job title. Compound titles exist, such as Maravacakravarti that belonged to a Maravar chief, as well as Malavacakravarti belonged to a Malava chief. Arya in Tamil denotes a title that belonged to a person from Aryavata. Thus the title Aryacakravarti seems fit the structure of similarly used titles across the Pandyan kingdom. Some of the dignitaries noted in the inscriptions are 1. Deva Aryacakravarti, Alakan Aryacakravarti, Minatungan Aryacakravarti and a Raman Aryacakravarti, of whom Deva Aryacakravarti has at least 2 known inscriptions, of which one at Sovapuri in Ramanathapuram in 1272 is the earliest. He caused a second inscription in Tirupulani in Ramanathapuram to be engraved, thus indicating he was a minister or a feudatory. Notably, the inscriptions also had the epithet Sitamakam, signifying in the order of Satu. According to a Sinhalese primary source, Gulavamsa, a warlord and minister named Aryacakravarti invaded the Sinhalese capital of Yapahuwa on behalf of the Pandyan king Maravaman-Kulasekaran between the years 1277 to 1283 and took the politically significant Buddha's tooth relic. Brahmins from Rameswaram, the Sekarachi Skaramalai written during the Aryacakravarti rule in Jaffna, asserts that the direct ancestors of the kings belonged to a group of 512 Arya of the Pasupata sect hailed from Ayodhya, settled of the Rameswaram Hindu temple. The source also claims that 2 out of the 512 were selected as kings of Aryas. It also explains that a direct ancestor of the kings was a scribe in the Pandyan kingdom and was called during a war with other kingdoms to assist the king, and that the ancestors of the kings fought in wars against kings in the Hoysala and Karnataka. During Jatavarmans and Arapandyans ruled, the Pandyas overwhelmed the Hoysala enemies and killed the Hoysala monarch Virasomshwara in 1254. A study of their epithets, such as Tivariyakun, Kantamalaya and Situ Kavaland, confirms the connections to Rameswaram Hindu temple, as Tiva, Setu and Kantamalaya, all names for the same location, Rameswaram. Ganga dynasty. In the opinion of Rasana Yagamardaliya and Swami Nanapragazar, the Aryacakravarti dynasty was connected to the Eastern Ganga dynasty through maternal lines. Rasana Yagam believes that a Brahmin from the town of Rameswaram married into the surviving family members of the Kalinga Maga, an invader claiming to be from Kalinga Kingdom in India. Maga apparently belonged to the Eastern Ganga dynasty. The royal flag of the Jaffna Kingdom is similar to the royal insignia of the Eastern Gangas. Gangas themselves also claimed Brahmin origins. The Setu coins minted by the Aryacakravarti kings also have a similar symbol. Swami Nanapragazar believes that the first Aryacakravarti, also called Sinhalese, was Kalinga Maga himself. Three main arguments are adduced to support the claim that these kings were of Eastern Ganga descent. The first is the similar device on their coins. The bull couchant and the crescent surmounting it were struck on coins issued by the Eastern Gangas and Aryacakravartis. The second is the traditions of their origins are almost identical. The last is the assumption of titles Kankanardin and Kankayarian. According to S. Pathmanathan's History of the Jaffna Kingdom, these only establish similarity, but not any conclusive direct connections. Pathmanathan believes that we cannot categorically link the Aryacakravarti dynasty with Eastern Gangas and can explain most of the similarities based on influence. Even Western Ganga dynasty descendants who had moved into Tamil lands after the defeat by the Chola Empire around the year 1000 and interpret them simply as reflecting a claim of origin from the Hindu holy city of Varanasi on the banks of the holiest river Ganges. Javaka Kalinga invaders S. Paranavatana offered a novel surmise explaining the origins of the Aryacakravarti. According to him, the Aryacakravarti are descendants of Chandrabhanu, a Malay chieftain, who invaded the island from Tambralinga in 1247. According to him, refugees and immigrants from the Indian kingdom of Kalinga founded similarly named kingdoms in Southeast Asia, and some of them came due to various reasons to North Sri Lanka and founded the Jaffna Kingdom. This view has been refuted by noted Indian historian K. A. Nilakanta Sastry as having no credible evidence, and other historians such as Louis Charles Dame, an expert on Indonesian studies, Utaka Awamoto, a Buddhist scholar, and S. Pathmanathan. They assert that there were no kingdoms in Southeast Asia called Kalinga, and such assertions are based on erroneous readings of the Chinese name for a locality called Holing, which actually stood for wall and not Kalinga. Further, S. Pathmanathan asserts that Chandrabhanu had categorically claimed Padmavamsa lineage, whereas S. Paranavatana had adduced a Gangavamsa lineage to the Aryacakravarti. Further, he notes that the inscriptions that S. Paranavatana used to make his theory have not been deciphered by any other scholar to imply a Javaka connection to the Aryacakravartis. Current consensus. The current consensus held by historians such as S. Pathmanathan, Patrick Peebles and K. M. De Silva is that the Aryacakravartis were a Pandyan feudatory family that took power after the chaos created by the invasions of Kalinga Maga and Chandrabhanu. That the family was connected to the Ramanathapuram Hindu temple and was of Tamil Brahmin origin. It may have married into the family of Eastern Gangas or even for that matter the Chandrabhanu's successors, but the direct undeniable evidence for it is lacking. The influence of Eastern Gangas in its royal flag and the coins is indisputable. Kalinga Cakravarti mentioned by the Tamil chronicles of the kingdom may have been Kalinga Maga.